Fresh on their inclusion on the 2026 Good Things lineup, we're chatting with Chuck from Canadian pop punk legends Simple Plan. Mate, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to have you guys on. Congratulations on, being right at the top tier of the festival. But we were chatting just before we started recording. I can see some golf clubs in the back corner. You were saying you were hitting with Pierre this
What
morning.
else
I
can you
mean,
see out there? Oh boy, I hope it's not. Hope you can see all my stuff. There's nothing to hide. Yes, we were playing golf this morning. We're on tour in the U.S. right now. We had day off today, and we decided that we wanted to go out there and have a little fun. So we bring the clubs on tour. We love playing. We're the two of us are pretty obsessed with golf, and it was great. It was a beautiful, awesome day.
would you say you're a good golfer or just, a passionate hobbyist golfer?
I mean, look, there's this whole thing on Instagram where they ask people what they think a good golfer is, and there's a lot of different answers. I don't know if you saw that on your algorithm, but some
Yeah.
people say you have to shoot par to be a good golfer. So if you say that, I'm not a good golfer, but I'm at 9.5. So, I can
Damn,
hang.
okay.
I mean, I can play decent. I play, I'm very passionate about it, so I wish I was better. But it's a work in progress. We're Pierre is also a great. I think he's a 7.5 or 8. So we can hang. We're not gonna
Yeah.
make fools out of ourselves, but we're gonna have good days, bad days. It's about being more consistent.
That's it. 9.5 handicap is nothing to scoff at, so that's quite impressive. Look, let's chat Good Things Festival because at time of record, the festival lineup's just about to drop, and we were chatting before. It's been a little bit since you guys have been on the festival, but you're down in Australia fairly frequently. I mean, how keen are you to get down and play a big festival slot?
It's amazing. I mean, it's just we're so excited. We love good things. It's such a great festival. I love that it's diverse. I love that it's like it kind of represents all the element of the alternative scene. It's like, and it's not just like one lane where it's like you can have Simple Plan and Limp Bizkit on the same poster and it makes sense, which I think is it's a rare. But I think the world is kind of evolving and it's changing from like in the early 2000s that would not have been possible, but now there's no more rules and people love so much stuff, so much different stuff, and you can have it can coexist. And I think it's really exciting. I know that the rejects are on it too, and we love those guys. There's a lot of great pop punk as well on it, but there's also the heavy side. I think it's really cool. It kind of makes the festival kind of unique, and we're stoked to be a part of it. We played it once, I think, in I want to say 2019. It was the year where Bad Religion was on and Simple Creatures, and I just remember loving the whole concept, the sites, everything. And I think it just got bigger and better since then. So we were like every year we would look at the lineup and just go like, oh man, I hope we can be on this thing. And now here we are, and we're kind of creeping up the poster a little bit, which is exciting as well.
100%. I mean, you talk on the mixed lineup. It seems to be quite a common thing now. People are wanting these mixed bills and, particular good things. You guys are right there with bands like Spirit Box, and then through the lineup, we've got metalcore, we've got hardcore, and then we've got a lot of pop punk stuff as well. Is there anyone on the lineup that, you're really keen to catch that people might be a little bit surprised by?
Limp Bizkit for sure. I mean, we grew up. I mean, it's not an obvious thing that you would say like, oh yeah, for sure they're fans of Limp Bizkit, but there's something about they're having this crazy moment, like this resurgence, this return, and in a way, it kind of mirrors what's happening to our band, because for a while, like they were kind of like maybe not the most popular or coolest band around. I think we've had the same kind of trajectory where for a moment people were like little, I don't know, I'm not gonna say embarrassed, but it wasn't like this cool thing to scream I love Simple Plan, And I think that and now since the pandemic there's been this resurgence of pop punk. So I think that there's some parallels. I mean, I'm not saying we're the same or as big as them, but the idea being that it's really cool to see a band kind of that had like this high and then is having this other high, and maybe it's even bigger than it was in the early days, and that's what it feels like with us. what's happening. It's so exciting. The Rejects, we always love these guys. We love playing with these guys. They have massive songs, and we're just really big fan. And I'll be honest with you, I would love to see the whole lineup because name me the pop punk bands on there, and I'll tell you.
Oh, let me pull up the lineup. Hang on.
Where? Oh, here we
I
go.
should have been more. I've seen it, but like I've seen so many lineups that I don't want to make a mistake.
No, no, that's all right. So we've got the Rejects. I guess if we're going more the pop punk element, we've got like Neck Deep. We've got Slowly Slowly. Um, Even some older stuff, some older bands like you said, Bad Religion, Ministry, Alexis on
Is
Fire.
Bad Religion on it again?
They are.
Okay, so that's one of my highlight. I That's my favorite band of all time. So for me, I'm catching them every festival that we play with them. I'm going to see them. Neck Deep, we're going on tour with them in Europe on our headline tour. They're supporting our tour, and they're like one of those like, well, I mean, I was gonna say like young up and coming. They've been around for a while now, but they're sort of younger than our generation, and it's one of my favorite band in that sort of generation, like with State Champs and Neck Deep and Mayday
Mm.
Parade. Like I love these bands, so I'm gonna say those three. Obviously, for me, the pop punk lane or the punk rock lane is kind of like that's my go-to, right? That's our home.
Yeah.
But I don't know some of the bands. I know like some of the heavier, bigger bands. I'm not as familiar, so I'm gonna be playing them until we get to December to get to know them
Yeah.
better.
100%. Yeah, a bit of exploration before you get over here.
That's right.
Um,
Well, that's the whole point of a festival, right? You kind of it leads you to new places and to new bands, which is cool.
100%. You spoke on the resurgence of Limp Bizkit and, since the pandemic, you guys as well. I mean, I'd love to see or to pick your brain about it because it feels like there's this new wave of younger fans coming to, these shows that, shows of bands that have been around for a long time. I was at a Super Heaven concert not too long ago and their song Youngest Daughter did numbers on TikTok and young fans were just absolutely loving it. You guys, the I'm Just a Kid trend has absolutely popped off and have you found that the crowds are you've got the Rusted On fans from when Simple Plan first started, but you've got this young crop coming through at shows where
Oh my
that,
God, 100%.
yeah.
We're seeing it every night. We're on tour in the U.S. right now. We're headlining our own tour, and you can't believe how many kids are sitting on the parents' shoulders. They're having their sign like, "This is my first concert ever." I'm just a kid everywhere, and like I wasn't born when your record came out. Like we're seeing it all, everything, and they're coming in, and they were not even like. That's the thing. They were not even born not when our first record came out. They were not even born when our like fourth or fifth record came out, and they know every single song. And sometimes it's like, oh my, they'll say crazy things like, oh, you're my mom's favorite band, or they'll say like, yeah, I love you guys, like I love classic rock, and you're like, are you
Yeah,
kidding?
man. Come on.
Uh, yeah, that one hurts a little bit. I'll be honest, but it's kind of like it's like they're finding something in the music that they can't find anywhere else. Maybe in the current modern music, there's something about the late '90s, early 2000s musical scene, alternative scene, pop punk scene, punk rock scene that there was an authenticity to it. There was an honesty to it. There was an energy to it, and that timelessness that you hear these songs. You put on a Blink record, and it could have been recorded last week. Like
Mm.
the songs stand up the to their even if it's they've been around for 25 years. They hold up, and even like when I go back and I listen to our records, I feel like okay, like I can see how some young people can find something in there that's interesting to them. Obviously we had the TikTok thing, which was a major gift for us, and we're so grateful. Truly, like it changed the game because I think it brought back people that used to love the band and maybe moved on or forgot or just like life gets busy. You got like you got a job now and music is not the center of your life. But then all of a
Mm.
sudden this band that you used to love when you were a teenager, it pops up on your For You page or on your Instagram feed, and you're like, oh my God, like one song can bring you back to a whole era of your life, a time, and I think it's doing that for people. And it's like maybe it was a less complicated time. Maybe there was less responsibilities. It was free. And people want to feel that again, because it's been rough these past few years for a lot of people. And it's like when they hear the music, they can kind of like teleport to a different moment in their lives, and it brings back all this memory, good and bad. And I think that they're people also like we hear that all the time, like, man, like you got me through some real stuff. Like when I
Mm.
don't think I'd be here if it wasn't for this album or this song or whatever. So I think that the music you love as a younger person, when you're dealing through like really big emotions and really big life changes and all that, and like everything is a bit more intense, I think it just sticks with you. Same for me. I mean, the band that I grew up, for me, it's No Effects and Bad Religion and Lagwagon and like No Use for a Name and whatever, like all that kind of like Offspring, all that crop of bands. Like
Yeah.
they still, it's comfortable, it's home. Like it feels like, because I love to hear new music, but there's an effort required to get into it, and sometimes even if I'm trying, it just doesn't hit me the same way. So I think
Yeah.
people that's happening. But as far as like the young kids, why it resonates with them, it's hard to say, man. Like, I mean, it's I just think the music is different than what's out there right now, maybe. And
Yeah.
that feels fresh. Like there's like
Yeah.
we hear that a lot from teenagers that come to our shows or young kids, and they're like, man, like it doesn't feel contrived. It doesn't feel like it was made for TikTok. It doesn't feel it was like, I don't know. It feels authentic. So I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I completely understand. I think it definitely does, and it's um, yeah, it's not overproduced, and it's not like this super digital feeling like a lot of the modern music has. Like it's
Yeah, it
It's
feels more
yeah.
raw. I think maybe that's the thing. Maybe there's something raw about it that doesn't feel like it's been like, engineered, or I don't know. Maybe that's what it
Mm.
is. But it's really cool. And I mean, like, frankly, like there's something about that. And also you can't ignore the fact that stuff comes around, right? So it's been 20 years, 25 years. So it's kind of like a cycle of, and now it's like stuff is coming back. People are dressing up with baggy pants and they're skateboarding again, and the whole lifestyle is coming back. Vans Warped Tour, we just played it in Long Beach. We got to close the festival, and there was 65,000 people there. I mean, that's
Dang,
bigger than
man.
Warped Tour has ever been. But it's like
Yeah.
it's I think people wanna, maybe people feel like it was things, and that sounds like such a boomer thing to say, like things were better in our days, but there was something about, there was no social media, there was no, it was more like you were in the moment more. It was like the last moment of pre digital life.
Yeah.
And I think that might have to do with it. It wasn't like everything wasn't about being shared, being like optimized for algorithms. It was kind of like you were doing stuff because you believed in it and you
Mm.
cared and you were passionate about it. So I think maybe that comes across.
100%. And I mean, I'd love to know. We've spoken to some bands who have had this similar sort of evolution of their fan base, like Simple Plan has, and they've said that younger fans are gravitating towards some deeper album cuts because they weren't around for the marketing of the singles at the time. Have you had any sort of unexpected tracks that you've had to pull into the live set?
Because,
Yeah, we get and that's the most crushing thing, because like we'll meet people, like we do this sort of this meet and greet before the show and all that, and people will come up, and like especially like when it's a young kids, like my favorite song is like random track number 9 on like fifth record, and you're just like, oh man, I would have never suspected that that would be your favorite song. And then you're like, now you feel guilty, like, well, we're not planning on playing that one. We haven't played in 7 years, so we're at sound check trying to like, all right, maybe we can learn and play tonight. But it's like it's always a balance, because you're playing, like, the shows are getting bigger here. We're playing like 5,000 people every night. This 6,000 7,000 people. So you're like, and so many people have never seen us before. So it's like, how many, like, there's some staples that you have to play. You don't have a choice. And then
Mm.
it's like, okay, so how do you fit all that in? How do you make everybody happy? And it's always like, that's what happens when you have 6 records, and it's like you're never gonna have a perfect set list that makes everyone in the crowd happy, because even for me, when I go see my favorite band, I'm like, how could they not play this one? Are you serious? But it's hard. It breaks your heart because people will say like, oh man, like you didn't play my favorite song, and it's just like, you feel, we take it personally. We feel guilty. We're like, oh man, I'm sorry. You know,
I guess
it's
there's
the
also probably
worst.
There'd be some songs that people mention, you know, I couldn't remember how to play that even if I tried.
There's a few that we haven't played in like literally years. So it would be like it's not like you can just like get on the bike and play. You know, there's a little bit of like, okay, I got to go back and I don't remember what I played at all. So there's a little bit of that. Sometimes people are like, well, why can't you just play it? I'm like, because I really truly do not remember anything how to do it. You know, but
yeah.
but generally we try. We've been trying really hard to like every night to have like one or two, we call them like the kind of like the wild cards that we bring into the set, and we rotate them because a lot of people come to multiple shows now, and
Mm,
we'll have people that come to 4, 5, 6, 7 shows on the tour, and it's like try to keep it fresh for them, you know.
100%.
And I think that's a great way to do it because then it gives people reason to come back and they want to see what songs they're going to see. Yeah, I really like that approach.
Exactly. Like we're not exactly the Grateful Dead at some point because we, you know, like the set list, we feel like we've been fine tuning it for years now. So the festival set list kind of like it's hard to completely start from scratch every night. Like some bands do that, like Pearl Jam and Grateful Dead. I think there's something really cool about that. But our version of that is like two, three songs that are coming in and out, and we try to bring like fan favorites and obscure tracks and everything, and try to make everybody happy.
I love it. Well, look, Chuck, before we let you go, we've got good things coming up in December. You're on tour at the moment, but leading towards 2027 and into the new year, what's it look like for Simple Plan?
You know, we're gonna start. We started writing new songs at the beginning of this year. So we've invested like a good 3, 4 months, like just kind of like compiling new music that we love, and we're very excited. We got a lot of stuff that we're really proud of. It's not quite done yet, so I think in 2027, probably more writing and recording and getting something ready because as much as we love it that people love our early stuff and everything, we don't want to be that kind of band that becomes stuck in the past and that's all that they're all about. We want to keep pushing forward. We want to, and every band says that, but we truly, feel like inspired and energized, and that's how we keep it fun too, right? For ourselves is to come up and to kind of challenge yourself, and you're really playing against your own history at this point because you know how can you match the love that people have for the early records and all that? And it's hard, but we keep trying. We keep showing up at the bat and, take a shot at it. And I feel like our last record, people really, like our fans truly loved it. And we're like, man, this is on par with everything you've done before. So that's the bar. Like, that's what we want to do. So we're taking our time and but definitely new music and then more touring.
Yep.
We haven't toured our home country in Canada in a long time. They're getting pretty upset. So like a proper full headline tour. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna go to Europe and do festivals. So it's gonna be busy, but it's gonna be a lot of new music next year.
Love that. Well, I'm sure our listeners are going to be psyched hearing that. But for those listening, make sure to catch Simple Plan live at Good Things Festival in Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane the first week of December. Chuck, thanks so much for taking the time to chat.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.